Hi, this is Chance. I'm on my way back home. I recorded that video going for my walk. Now I'm heading back. But I don't think that video was complete because I do want to give thanks for some of the people who have really been instrumental and impactful in my life for this past year. First of all, I give God thanks, right? Because without Him giving us daily life, health, and strength, we won't be able to do anything. I also want to thank God for my wife, man. Listen, fellas, you know, in your relationships, it doesn't matter how good or bad it is, but let me tell you, never lose sight of the important realities. But my wife is a trooper, and really and truly, just knowing that she's there, she takes care of our home front, she's doing an awesome job with our son, and I mean, just holding it down wherever we go. I know I can count on my wife. I don't have to worry. I don't have headaches and so forth. And so, you know, I don't worry about my wife. My wife is just a blessing to me in every aspect. And so I want to say, I love you, Anita, and thank you for being there and for supporting all of the little projects, even the ones that fail. I'm grateful for our son as well, Joel Omari. Now, this young man, I'm telling you, to me, I'm looking forward to what God is going to do in his life. But he teaches me so many things. And actually, for my church family, I want to thank God for you too. For both my churches, I thank you guys. But here's one of the interesting things. My son actually helps me lately to write sermons, right? Because this dude, you don't know, we got to read him Bible story after Bible story. And sometimes he has his favorites, right? Noah, Moses, David, right? David is his favorite character right now, and so many others, right? But sometimes what happens is, because I gotta read the story over and over again, it ends up having an impact on me. And so I would actually take some of those messages and actually make sermons out of them, right? Because I'm thinking about them, because I gotta read them, I play them over. Sometimes you ask me, Papa, you gonna read? I said, well, okay, we're not gonna read, but let me just tell you the story, because I read it so many times, now it's just there in my mind. So I'm grateful for our son that way. I actually preached the entire series, lately, because of one of the stories that I got from him. Then I talked a little bit about David, how the mighty have fallen, but that was an addition to part of the stories we keep reading to our son. So anyhow, that's a blessing. But like I said, also my church family, oh man, every Sunday, I have a team of people that pray at All Nations Church. And oh boy, I really believe that every single blessing that we've got as a church, every person who has become a part of the church has really been a result of this particular crew of people who pray every single Sunday without fail. And it's really been awesome. I want to thank Sister Lynn, especially for leading out in that. Then I want to give God thanks and praise for Brother Carlo Capili and Dr. Herbert Smith for really doing an awesome job in our church community garden. That community garden, oh boy, it looks great. It really does. But I know that there's so many more things that are needed back there. But every Sunday also we had many of our youth and different families will come out and help. So thank you guys for doing that. Actually, about 2-3 weeks ago, I had a gentleman who used to live in this area. He came back to visit. He just wrote a book. But then I told him, let's meet at the church. And man, when he went in the back of the church, he was so surprised to see all of the improvements, clearing up the land and all of those little things. So thank you guys for holding the fort down. Dr. Smith, every single week, man, you out there. And many of you know Brother Carlo. That's his passion, right? So even the other day, you know, he's taking care of his health up in the Houston area. But I texted him the other day, and you know, this thing is so much into his heart that he texts me back, and the first thing he asks me is really, how is his garden doing? I'm like, oh man, don't worry about the garden. Don't worry about the back of the church. It's doing well. So I want to thank God for that. I also want to thank Dr. Martin Ekumu and the Don't Lose Hope ministry. Just within 1 year, we have done, I'd say, at least 10 to 12 free community health expos with this ministry. And we have touched collectively over 5,000 people, providing free services to the community, counseling, those type of things, because we really believe that, you know, your health is really, outside of spirituality, well, I think they're both connected anyhow, but in the physical realm, I think your health is your most important asset, because when you're healthy, there's so many things that you can do, right? And so with Don't Lose Hope, we've been able to do a whole lot of free community health projects, and this year we will be doing even some more. So I want to say thank you, and I hope that in 2017 it wouldn't stop, because already we actually have several health expos already planned for 2017. Then I want to thank another gentleman at my church, my head elder at the Far Church, Mr. Patrick Vassell. This dude is more than a head elder. He, to me, is a friend, and he is like my dad as well in many, many ways. But one of the most humblest men I've really met outside of Africa. You know, to me, the most humble people I've ever met in my life and interacted were people from Africa when I went on mission trips. I mean, I've never met godly people like that. But here in the US of A, Brother Patrick Vassell, to me, is a wonderful example of humility. This man blesses me in many ways, you know, not just for projects that needs to happen, but sometimes just being there, we can be able to talk. We go on visitations. We visit people in the hospital pretty much every week. And I can always count on him. I mean, that is something. We really need to have people like that. We can always counsel together, talk together. And sometimes even after church, we're there just talking hours on end. And so I really appreciate Mr. Vassell and his family for that. I appreciate everybody in the church. Like I said, you know, my whole church family. Let me say thank you also to two other people. I want to thank Torres Montgomery. Torres Montgomery, I'm proud of you, brother. This year as well, you actually published your book, Set on Fire. Again, to me, books are a big part of my life, because I know what goes into a book. You see, to me, a book really, everybody should write a book. But when a person writes a book, it says a lot, man, because I know the commitment that goes into it. I know the passion that goes into it, and the possibilities of being able to change people's life. And I want to thank Torres for actually completing that book, because I know it has really been a long time project. Even since we were at Oakwood, I know you had that thing on your mind and you were starting a book, but congratulations on that. And I also want to say thank you for what you're doing in the Benton Harbor community. I see your videos. I see the impact that your church is having. That's the kind of way we really need to do church, be practical in the community. And so you guys are making a difference, and be encouraged. The Lord is using you, and I believe and expect greater things to happen for you. Then I want to thank Ketsia and Jonathan Gustav, Big Jono. Man, you guys, those videos on marriage and relationship, I love the way you do them, because seriously, that's the kind of way I talk about in counseling with people getting married. You know, we need all aspects of marriage. Of course, marriage is great. But the thing is, there are many counselors who fail to leave out truly the realities of marriage. Like, marriage has its ups and downs, marriage has its challenges, but you guys get raw, you get down to the nitty gritty. And honestly, I appreciate that, because seriously, I think the more people know, they can appreciate, they don't have to fear it. Because when people get in relationship and they hit the tough times, they want to give up, they want to quit. And that's not what it's all about. Like, we shouldn't quit, we shouldn't give up. But many times I think that's a failure on the counselor's end, because they don't tell people about all of the realities of married life. And so you guys are doing an awesome job, but please don't give up making those videos. Please don't give up. The blog is going to be a blessing. And I also want to thank my missionary friends from Africa, Costa, Niambe, and Vera, and Sylvia, and all of these people who continue to hold the battlefield down and going out of their way, sacrificing and committing their time to be a blessing to humanity. Thank you guys. Also for the NAPS crew back at Oakwood, thank you guys. It's just good to know that The brethren are committed and still advancing the cause with every fiber of their being. It's holidays and you guys are out on the field. And so know that, again, don't give up, man. These are the things to me that really gives intrinsic value and motivation to living. And that's the contribution that we need more people to make. Thank you. Also want to thank Dr. Jeffrey Pascal and his wife, Claudie, was able to have the privilege of performing your marriage counseling and your ceremony. And so I want to say congratulations too for becoming a dentist. I know the journey there again is something inspiring, because when you came to Oakwood first, I think you went into nursing. You even took a year off to do mission work overseas, but you still was able to complete your dream goal of becoming a doctor. And so now I know the Lord is going to bless you tremendously being a dentist and so forth. So congrats on that, and keep pressing forward. But also I know that you've done many things for me too. One of the biggest interviews I did for my book and course, I couldn't make it to California, and you were able to go there and make some contacts for me and get me a very wonderful, powerful interview with Sue Oyuela. So thank you for that, Jeffrey. Everyone else, just thank you. I appreciate you in big ways and small ways. Oh, also, I want to thank Dr. Nana Cooper as well. You really, I know you are a serious, encouraging, motivational person, because you're beasting it out. You're working on 2 books at the same time. And yesterday we saw your book rise to a bestseller status on Amazon. And I want to say congratulations, but we're glad that we were a small part of your project. And thank you for allowing us to be part of your project, but also to share with you. And so I wish further success on your 2nd book as well, and all that you are doing in foreign missions as well, in your local community, and really pushing the envelope. Like, everybody should appreciate that. We all have our own challenges in life, but I think that if we keep pressing forward, we can make a big difference. Denise Phillips, want to thank you too, Denise Phillips. Every time I come around you, you always have a godly atmosphere. I'm very positive and encouraging. So I want to say thank you for having that kind of attitude and spirit. Hello, good morning. How you doing?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you guys. And so, yeah, that's greeting my neighbor there. It's past Christmas, but hey, we have the Christmas spirit, right? My dad, oh man, my dad. Listen, man, my dad, y'all, my dad, he is a serious, powerful guy. I have a whole video series that I did, but I was able to do 2 big things this year with my dad. One of my dreams has really been to pay off my dad's mortgage, but I know that dude, he is so committed and on fire. But my dad is a simple guy, but he has achieved one of the best things in America, where to own a home and so forth. But not only that, but my man has paid off his house, and he's still, not even at retirement age, but he was able to retire himself. And so that's an inspiration. I've actually shared that message with my congregation, and I have 2 leaders within my church as well who has made the commitment and have also now paid off their home mortgages as well. So all of these, I'm back home right now, so this is a blessing. But all of these are encouragement from my dad, and I really am proud of my dad. Many of you know I spoke about him in many different ways. But soon I'm going to be releasing a video. Also, I took on another degree program, right? I did a master's in project management, and I was able to complete it, and I did a graduation in June. Yeah, June. And so I went to Indiana with my dad. I actually had graduated from another school, and so we went there for the graduation there to kind of bring it all together. And we just had a wonderful few days together, you know what I mean? Being in a hotel, it was a very nice hotel. And, for the graduation ceremony, we had a lot to talk about, a lot to share, took some pictures together. Then afterwards, I went to spend an extra 5 days or so at my dad's home. And just being able to be there with my stepmom, and the whole nine. It really was a rich blessing, and that was a big highlight for the 2016 year. But having my dad be there, he wasn't able to be there for a lot of other things. For graduation wise, my first graduation from high school, my dad was there, and so I wanted to have these 2 degrees be part of that journey and legacy with him as well. Because my dad never really finished school per se, but he's one of, like I said, there's nobody actually, honestly, even some of the millionaires out there, like I know if my dad had the opportunity to have money on that level, but I know that to me, there's no one that I personally know who are educated or not can understand and manage money like my father. I mean, my dad has done an awesome job. Like I said, regular guy, never graduated from even high school, but he has been able to achieve the American dream, paid off his home, got, retired himself before retirement age. I mean, that is just awesome, seriously speaking. So I give God thanks and praise for my dad and just having him still here with me in the land of the living. Thank my mom too. My mom is a quiet soul, kind of like my wife, but she has been there as an encouragement and a prayer warrior too. So you always have to have these folks in the back of your mind, knowing that they contribute a lot to your life and your success in many, many different ways. So if I didn't mention your name, doesn't mean I don't appreciate you. I appreciate everybody. I thank you guys for all that you do, all that you have contributed in my life, and all that we were going to do together in the new year. So happy holidays to you and happy new year. Enjoy life. Make the most of it. Take care of your health. Seek God first with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Don't give up on your goals and your dream. It might take a while to accomplish things, but it doesn't mean that they wouldn't be accomplished. Sometimes we get too anxious about stuff. But you have to understand that life is not always just like that, a straight road. Sometimes you got to go this way and that way and so forth. But if you keep pressing on, you keep advancing, by and by, things will come through for you, and even in better ways than you can. And actually, something I've learned too is that, you have to thank God too for the tough times, because it's really the tough time that teaches you. And many times there are things within us that needs to be purged out. And tragedies and trials and setbacks are some of the best tools that God has to help to mold us into where we need to go. Because if we were to get to that place where we want to be in our current state, we would not be able to stay there. If your character is not formed and developed for certain places and jobs and positions, your character is going to actually prevent you from staying there or enjoying that place. So sometimes we have to go through crucibles to purge us and to purify us. Can you imagine, an impatient person working with children, or an impatient person working with the elderlies, for example? Like, that really might be a tragedy. So in other words, if that's where you want to be, for example, and you're going through tough times to develop your patience, then that's a good thing. So you need to develop enough patience that you can get an end to that particular place. So bam, it's 9 minutes here. I wanted to do a full 20-minute video for both the first and second. So I think I'll achieve that goal, right? God bless you, man. Happy New Year. And take care of yourself. Take care of your family. And thank you for sharing this video. Post it, share it, but also make one and let other people know that you appreciate them too. Bye-bye.